us. It just showed us what it was before. Yeah, it just showed us setting up. So when the new live stream shows, you should see Prince at the speakers table.
Okay. How many cameras
Oh,
do
you want
we
me
have?
to?
I see one in the back. That's kind of far back, and the speaker is far back. That's not normally where we set them up. But the speaker, you know that corner right by the door? I guess they didn't necessarily get the floor plan.
Which
So
door?
it should be, Julian, on the left side, right there on the corner, near the closer to the court reporter. That sound, you tell me if it sound right. I can't. I'm not in the room, but typically some of that sound may get lost because the pole there could be blocking the sound from going out.
Where the camera is?
So go back to your page. Refresh it. Go back where you were and refresh.
So wait, Ms. Pam, you said you're worried about what in this left corner?
I'm just looking at where the speaker and the camera is, okay? Because the commissioners and people where that camera is and the height, that could be problematic with space. I'm just letting you know. Normally, it's closer to the corners. If I'm looking at the head table where you were sitting on the left-hand side, it's normally closer to the left. I don't know when you put the speaker by those poles and stuff, you lose some sound. Like if you go to the back of the room and you need to be able to hear it at the wall where the glass wall is. How does that sound there from that point?
You said it sounds fine back there.
Out the sound. Say it again. I lost a little bit of you.
It sounds good from back there. They said they have quality speakers, high quality speakers.
Right, but people walk around that aisle. You cannot block that aisle. You have to think about the safety side. I can't see from where I'm sitting at. Show me, take a picture of that because people walk around me. You can't block that backward door as a fire hazard. That back aisle. Remember, you're going to have 9 commissioners and 9 assistants, and there's a chair. So I showed you on the other side of that pole. That person will be sitting in that chair, and the person's going to be sitting on both sides of the pole, left and right. And I can't see the other side where it's set up at.
So do you want us to move the camera directly in front of the pole and then move some chairs to the right?
No, it's normally on. I want you to look at that back door. And the back door, there's that corner right there, right? So I come out the back door. Right on that corner, we normally have the camera and the speaker right there.
Yes.
Because we don't let people into that back doorway.
Oh, okay,
Where you are now, I'm telling you now, commissioners and staff, people have to come back through that walkway.
Oh, back there. Yeah. Okay. So there's nothing blocking that. That's just where the AV
Can you take
is
a picture? I
stationed.
can't see it from here.
When it switches this camera.
Okay.
Show me the pictures with the cameras and stuff off so I can actually see that left and right side.
No. All right, let me see if I can send you a picture.
I hear something talking. Okay. Is the video talking? Maybe I need to restart my screen because I hear somebody talking. Okay. So you want me? All right. So let me get out of this video. That's good. Get out of it.
Hello.
Okay. So I see, I see Dean, and I see him at the back table. Question for Dean.
Yep.
Okay. So I see you have the table behind the five panels. If I look to the right of the shot, is there a table right there with a laptop on it?
Yes.
Okay, so I need to see a setup because we don't normally have equipment that table in the room because there's going to be 4 rows of chairs between the 2 columns and about 4 feet maybe behind the presenter's table. That's where the first row is going to start. So I see this table that you have here in there. And typically a camera is sitting where you are facing the commissioner. I don't know where you have the camera for the commissioners at.
So we can move that table that's behind that pillar. We can move that over to where the video table is and keep that whole aisle clear. The only thing that would be there now is the camera.
So normally the camera's right there in front of that pillar where you are right now.
Okay.
That faces the head table with the commissioner's office. Usually a camera there, and you have to sort of make it kind of high because people come in and out sometimes. Yes, right there. I see your hand right there. So where's the camera that faces the commissioners? Where do you have that placed at now?
Okay, so I need to turn the camera. So there's a camera sitting in front of each column right now that's facing the commissioner's table. So switch to that far camera over there.
So you have a camera on the other side closer to the door, sir?
It's in front of the other column, same as this first one is that you were looking at.
Okay, thank you.
It's in front of the other one.
Helpful.
And let me see. I'll turn the other camera so you can see that.
And that's to the right. Okay, I can see that. Thank you. Hi, I see you waving at me. Thank you. I don't remember the gentleman's name. Okay. And you also have to remember where the legs are. You're going to need to raise the camera and keep those legs condensed. So, we have to have proper egress, cables, tape down. I know you know about tape. I'm not really worried about that. Hi, Prince. Okay, I see. That's a good shot. Thank you so much. So I can see that. Okay. That camera you're going to use just for the audience? Is that what you're using, the camera I'm seeing right now?
Yes, that is the audience camera.
Okay. All right, so you're going to use 3 cameras for the shot then. That's your standard setup. Okay.
Also,
either way,
Miss Pam, so you see the speakers table. So we use the 2 small tables, or not small tables, but I guess smaller tables.
You need to use the 2 long tables. You need 6 chairs
2
at
long
that
tables.
table. 6
Okay.
people.
Where do you want me to get the 2 long tables from the library?
You see the meeting room behind you? We're going to break that down. Those will not be tables in there. That's going to be an ordered seating.
Okay. Because I took a table from the meeting room, but it was a small table. So I think it's just 4 small tables there.
It's okay for now for the setup, but you're going to have a maximum of 6 chairs and microphones for presenters where Prince is sitting at.
Okay.
The room behind you, that wall will be broken down. It's going to have audience seating, and we're going to remove the 2 longest tables out of there so we can get 6 people comfortable there.
Okay.
Right. And you see how those tripod legs, you have to raise those up and pull them in so that no one's going to trip over that. And that's on the right-hand side, from where Dean is sitting. On the left-hand side, we normally have wheelchairs if we have them, and those chairs could be moved. That's why we don't normally have a camera in front of that pole. I'm not opposed to it. I just want you aware. If someone does come in a wheelchair or handicap, we usually set them in that area. So that's why it's important to make sure where the wires and cables are. Questions, comments, please? Because I hear the guys talking, but I can't hear the conversation.
We're just talking about the footprint of the cameras to make it smaller, bring the cameras up higher, but make the
Okay.
spread of the legs smaller than what they are now.
All right. And Dean, where's the malt box? It's usually in front of on the right hand side from you, on the floor in front of the glass door.
Yes, that's where it is. Can you
Okay,
turn that
thank you.
camera over there? Sure. And Justin, can you switch to that camera? Is he over there? Yep. Okay. So I think you can see the malt box now.
I can see the malt box. Thank you. Can you pan to the court reporter table for me? Because that's on the same side. Okay.
I think you got like a 15-second delay.
Where your speaker is, typically I move them out the way, and I didn't think about that. So you could move up. That doesn't have to stay there, or that chair in front of it does not have to stay. So you could actually move up your camera if you needed to, and move up the speaker if that helps.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah.
Thank you. Those move out the way. And if you pan back to the left for me, there's another rolling stand. Maybe you could put, if you need to put your malt box on there, because AD or us, I consider us one of the like we walk around and right there. See that path? So that little stand right there does not have to stay there. You can actually use that if you wanted to put that, because we're going to walk through that path.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're hopefully avoiding camera shots. You know what I'm saying? Well, we have to walk around the room, so we're avoiding the camera shots. We want to make sure that we're not tripping as well because of the safety.
Yeah,
Can you show me from the right camera the other side of the room, from the right-hand side to the double doors? Can you show me that side of the room?
Yeah. Justin, switch to that other camera. Yeah, we can put that malt box on that little table you were talking about and move that back into the corner.
Sorry, I lost my earpiece. Hold on one second.
Yeah. You back?
Come on, earpiece. Sorry, I lost my earpiece.
It's okay.
Go ahead for the moment. I'm on speakerphone for the moment.
All right. So I was saying, yeah, the little table you were talking about in the corner, we can put the malt box on top of that and slide it further in the corner.
Yeah, that rolls.
Yeah, we'll put the malt box on top of that.
Right. And come on here. Is it switch? Okay, go back. And what happened here? I lost my live feed. Okay. Switch to the other side, please. Okay, right. So that table right here, normally I set that back and put the speaker in front of it so that we have, hopefully, the soundscape. But if it's okay, I want you to know, pan a little bit to the left for me, please. So I can just, a little bit to the left, so I can see the head table. My left, not your left. Yeah, for some reason I'm having a hard time hearing you. I lost my sound.
I wouldn't say anything.
That's maybe me.
No, I don't hear them saying anything either.
Okay, Dean, we can't hear you. Someone's speaking, but you're not at a microphone.
I didn't hear what you say. Say that again, please.
Yes. So I'm trying to get you to pan to the left. Is that Julian? Pan to the left a little bit on the camera so I could see half the wall, but part of the table. I want to see the path that's going back there.
Julian's standing in the path.
All right, Julian's standing there. It just takes
Okay,
it takes
thank
about
you.
20 seconds
Right
after
there.
we do it for you to see it.
Julian's standing in the path.
Oh, thank you. So that table, stop right there, please. So that table with Ned Julian usually sets back. If the speaker is okay, but it may be directly in the commissioner's ear. Normally, it sets in front of the table.
Okay.
You set the table back a foot or so, and then you put the tripod legs there. That gray table right there next to front of Julian does not have to be there.
Okay, great.
We
Yeah.
use that if we have a PowerPoint.
Yeah, that would be great if we could move the speaker forward. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is going on with this sound of mine? Can you hear anything, Essence?
No, I just hear you.
Well, nobody's saying anything on this
We're
end.
here. We're just not saying anything.
We're just listening for you.
Can y'all hear us now?
Okay, but y'all are having conversations, and we're having a hard time following because there's no sound. So I'm talking, and I don't know your response because you're talking in between stuff with no sound. So it's a little challenging. Okay.
Yeah, if you're listening in the phone, you should be able to hear us. But if you're trying to listen on the computer, it's going to be a 20-second delay before you hear us on the computer.
I have that, but I'm hearing my sound I'm getting from my phone.
Okay.
No, I'm talking on the phone. And then
Yeah, we can hear you clearly from the phone.
All right, but we can't hear you all.
You can't hear us.
I'm still a delay.
Okay. They said it's a delay.
But
so
not on the phone, though.
Not on the
Not on the phone.
Okay.
They're listening to us on the phone.
We understand that.
Okay, well, everybody just start talking at once. We're not saying it.
Well, we're not really saying anything. We're kind of listening to hear what you have to say.
Okay. So pan back to the right, please. So that table can be moved back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you can move the speaker up, so that helps you. And then that gray little table doesn't have to be there. We use that if we have PowerPoint and you have to put a projector or something on there. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, Julian.
I didn't say anything. But I'm going to move the tables, though. I'm just writing it down on the map. I'm going to just write it down on the layout of what to move.
We'll have to draw another map. That's why I try to give you an idea, since I was on site. We have not had a meeting there.
Mm-hmm.
You all don't know from past experience what goes where.
Yeah, that definitely helps give us a general idea of where to place things. But talking with you here clears up a lot of things, and we can make those adjustments.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because you see where the pole is, somebody sitting on both sides of that pole. That's what I'm saying in terms of egressing. People, their staff goes in and out. They go to the restroom, so you want to try to have as much clarity as possible. And typically we have 2 cameras. I don't care if you use 3 cameras, but if you're going to have that shot with the extra camera, knowing that, especially on the one on that side of the room that you're on, that for us to do ADA, and we never know until someone comes. Typically, they're in a wheelchair. They have crutches, so we typically sit them there. And we haven't even added in the 508, which we use online now, which is they pull up the sound and the person clicks on the link and they can see the transcript from there,
Okay.
Any questions so far?
Where's the 508? Where did you say the 508 is getting the sound from?
So they will go into the live feed.
Okay.
We're on now,
Mm-hmm.
and then they call out, typically in the past, we're trying to figure out our new setup. They would have a call-out number. You would call in, or you would link in, and then you could read the transcript.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we have 2 links, right? One for the live stream and one for 508.
Sam, that's not how that works, though.
In the old one, they didn't have a link to watch the transcript, to read the transcript.
Yeah, we have a link, but they don't call. They call into the meeting, and they have a code that they use to inject into the captioning at the bottom.
Okay, so I guess I have two questions. One, you do the transcript live on the live feed, yes?
Right, that on the live stream, yes.
Okay, so they don't have to click on the link that we normally click on and watch it and say, it's going too fast, they're going too slow.
No, it's too much of a delay. They have to be on the call so it can match up.
On the call, not the live. Okay, my fault then. Okay, so they call into the conference call and listen to the sound. They type it. Now, the type part I'm going to get, they also have the streaming they split it. One goes to the live feed or one goes to the person who's watching the link for the 508. Is that better? My understanding?
Right. It's actually all from the same stream link that we use for closed captioning. They hook that up.
Okay, so it's just one link.
They inject it into the caption code on the live stream link.
On their side. Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Michelle. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Is the adjustments that we just talked about making, does that help you with the setup because of the speakers and the cameras?
Yes, that definitely helps out a lot.
One question I have is about the WebEx.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. We have a question. One question. Hold on. I'm just getting the question. Get to the mic. Go to the mic.
Antonio was doing good. Okay.
You may approach the stand.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
This is Greg.
Yeah, this is Greg, the troublemaker.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, how are you doing?
No,
Question.
we can't have any troublemakers. You're not going to take that today.
One big question.
Sir?
On the WebEx, there'll be people logging in on the WebEx that are part of the commission group itself, right?
So the goal is not to. If one of the commissioners or the 9 that's on the head table is not there, they generally call in to the meeting. Now, this new setup, so forgive me, right? Michelle will correct me. Now they're calling into WebEx to participate. Is that right, Michelle?
I'm sorry. Hold on a moment, Pam.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna have the thing work directly to feed directly into the switcher.
Okay.
So if they're online, they can go straight in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's well. This time it caught me off guard.
Okay.
I didn't know we were doing that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm always.
Go ahead, Michelle.
What's your question, Pamela? I'm sorry.
No, he was asking me how would a commissioner who's not physically there participate? And I told him, we're doing this new setup. So now they call into WebEx to participate by phone? Would that be correct?
Yes, for calling to WebEx. We're not trying to open up that where they can get on video. For right now,
right,
WebEx
not yet. That's right.
Okay, so it's WebEx without the video. It's just an audio version of the WebEx. Like you have Zoom, and you can do Zoom audio through your telephone without having to worry about anything.
Right.
Okay.
So we're doing Zoom audio through WebEx, Michelle, or just WebEx?
Just WebEx, or we do have a backup solution with Zoom. We have another conferencing system because, like I said, this WebEx has been really funky. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. So we have a backup if Mr. Kraft and his team prefer to use Zoom or find Zoom better to use for audio conferencing.
Okay, and so then should we, two questions, should we do the test with Zoom? Because I don't want to get into the first meeting. We know there's going to be issues. And having done that with Zoom and us having some experience or some level of comfort that you feel that if the WebEx doesn't work, Zoom is better.
Now,
and whatever we do, I'm fine.
Yes, whatever Julian asked, whatever you feel, if you feel comfortable with this, it's fine. What I'm asking Mr. Kraft is, are they comfortable with WebEx or do they prefer Zoom? What tends to work better for them?
I mean,
For us,
Okay, that's a very good question.
yeah, it doesn't matter either way which one you use. They're both very similar. I personally have never done Facebook or Zoom using the audio feature only, so I'm not sure how that would work out. But
Well, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
just basically they dial in from the telephone line, and they don't need to
Right.
use, or they can just go audio only on the Zoom. On WebEx, I've used WebEx here and there because of the government scenario. You have to use WebEx. Because back in the day, they didn't trust Zoom. It was like the TikTok, where they consider it kind of like Chinese oriented or
They're
something.
getting Zoom bombed.
Exactly.
somebody come into your meeting you don't want.
They migrated to Zoom Gov so they can have the same type of security like WebEx. The only thing I can tell you, as long as we can live stream, that gives the public an option. But if we have a telephonic meeting, we may not can. We will have to live stream, the audio from WebEx to YouTube, and I guess that can be an option. But Zoom does have a listen only feature.
I mean, what I would say regarding WebEx that I don't think Zoom has, I might be wrong, is once I finally figured it out, when people called in to the WebEx, it asks you to state your name before or whatever, and then it would tell the people on the call who you are. So I don't know if Zoom does that, but that's just another plus.
And no, it doesn't. So if that's a better feature for you, I say we stick with WebEx then.
Okay.
But you know what? You can't really hear it. If when I joined and it introduced me, I couldn't really hear it because they were already talking.
Well, I mean, if you can't hear it, then yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, I heard that and I was like, okay, that's cool, because it got us as close to at what we were doing with the operator assistance, and then when we did NPC in Zoom, Tina was running all over the place trying to figure out who was this, who was that, who was this. So, but
So then it sounded like WebEx was better.
just for that one reason, it was just to announce who they were. But I mean, if we don't have a problem,
you don't have to be running around. Okay, so should I call back in to see you and hear what they're saying as a caller, and then try to tell you, you know what I'm saying, what I'm hearing? Because I like Essence, they asked me for a password.
Commissioners.
Exactly. So the public won't even hear that. So I think we should be okay.
Okay.
well, actually, that might be a problem then, because because everybody had to say something. So when the press, when we called in, we had to say we were AV. So if somebody calls in late, let's say somebody from OCRE or one of the staff calls in, and we're in the middle of the commission meeting, it's going to say, "Hi, random person has joined the meeting," and it's going to interrupt everything. Versus just somebody just joining in on mute.
Exactly. So I think that's a feature you should be able to turn off. I think there was boxes where you were checking, and I think it said ding when a person joins or exits. We need the second question. You have one question on your list. Maybe Julian, the second question is: does a person, when they enter the meeting on the call, do we have to announce them? And if the answer is we can take a box for no, then that should resolve that issue. So can you take that second question, please?
Yes, I can check. I mean, I guess the better question would be, can we pick and choose who can announce, I guess? Or is there a time that we can just I don't know, lock people, not lock people out, but
they had boxes for us to check. If I remember the setup, and one of the things we were worried about was having people ping as they enter or exit the meeting. And I'm saying we should ask the question, can we choose an option to either activate or deactivate announcing people entering or leaving the meeting? Unless there's a better way to ask the question, I'm fine with that. But the end result is still knowing that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No tone. Yeah, you could change.
Okay, so he probably has it on a name or something.
Yeah, he got So yeah, you could put no tone, announce name, or beat. Those are the options.
Okay. So we can control that in the setup.
Yeah.
Okay. Julian, what was the other question? Was that a setup question that maybe we could answer while y'all looking at the setup on screen? It was our first question.
How to make a co-host.
It was the co-host
Okay.
question.
Is there a box on the hosting section?
Co-host, yep. It says allow co-host for my personal room meetings. You can add like the email address.
Mm-hmm.
See, but if you add an email for a call-in conference, I mean, does the email matter?
Say that question again. I'm sorry. I've got both sounds in my ears.
Oh,
Can you say
sorry.
that one more time, please, sir?
So I can't see the options in front of me, but Essence, if you can, if it only says to add co-hosts, add their email, then that doesn't really work for us if we're just trying to call in.
Right, but you remember how you put your number on there? There's an option to put another phone number.
Oh, okay.
Like 2 phone numbers.
All right, then that works.
Yeah, it's an option to put 2 phone numbers and to show it in the list too. So maybe I should.
And you know what I have?
I'm gonna add my phone number and then try to call from my cell phone or something to see. You know what I mean? To see if
right. And then you know what I'm thinking about too, Essence? When we have this meeting, that means one of us has to call in. Like, so normally I used to call in from my desk when we had a conference call and leave my line open the whole meeting so that we could hear. And so that Michelle and I, we would be listening, and I would go to my office and do a sound check, and it would sound okay. I would always leave my desk phone open. We may have to do that because if we're host or co-hosting on site. Does that make sense to y'all?
Yes.
Because once AV joins, if they're not a co-host, if we hang up from my desk, then we lose. Like when Essence hung up, we lost the meeting. It was like we had 5 minutes to get it together. So that sounds good to me. I don't know if anybody else has any questions, but from where I'm sitting, it sounds okay. And Julian, take some pictures so that when we do this again, we won't forget. It'll give us a better idea. We'll have to put it in. I made a logistical folder in terms of the setup that we're using right now, what goes where, what the adjustments are. We'll do a new floor plan. So just take pictures of the floor today, okay?
So did you guys want the announced name or nothing?
No, we don't want it to be announced.
Okay.
Like, we only need it in the beginning of the meeting. And I thought, I don't remember one of the guys' names. So, like, when we're doing the pre-meeting logistics, it'd be nice to know that Essence joined, Neil Groves joined, or whoever. But if we don't know, if it's better for later in the meeting, then I would opt not to do it and just tell them, when you join the meeting, please announce yourself. You know, tell Neil Groves to tell the court reporter, tell ACS to tell, to announce themselves.
Okay. I'm about to try to call.
I know they were like wondering what we're talking about here. They see us using our mouths. Okay, our Julian.
You're putting this one on hold, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna put her on mute.
Julian was asking a question about the WebEx versus the conference call telephone line we have right now. The conference call telephone line, there's really no easy way to just cut somebody off. If you have somebody who's talking and doing junk in the background, you can't do that. On a WebEx, you see the people's names, and if they're talking and causing an issue, you can mute them. That was the thing. It was WebEx or Zoom, you can mute individually because you have it on computer versus a telephone.
I think we're okay using WebEx. Does that mean I cannot see who's on what line? You're telling me to
no, you can see who's on what line because you're on WebEx.
But you would have to use like the computer. So like you would have to be on a computer, and then people can like call in, but you can see whoever wants that control of if somebody steps out of line or if somebody's like loud, and you want that power to mute them, then somebody would need to be on the computer to be able to see it because you can't do it through the phone. So if everybody calls in, then it's going to be like this, and anybody can interrupt, anybody can just not stop talking. But
well, that happens now anyway. When we had the conference call before, it was no real difference. I mean, I hear what you're saying and appreciate that. Don't get me wrong, but when we had CenturyLink, we had the same issue. If Commissioner Yaki wanted to talk for 5 straight minutes, he could talk. We couldn't tell them, we didn't have any control. So I hear what you're saying and appreciate that. Now, I'm glad that we could have a control in WebEx. That would mean that one of us during the meeting would have to have our laptop there, right, and logged in.
Yeah, because you remember that time where Miss Alfreda called in and she was on the pre-conference line and she wasn't muted, and then Mauro kept telling her to mute herself. Like, we were talking about like that type of issue.
Okay, and with I understand the guys, and one of us from ASCD apparently has to be logged in via the laptop, correct?
Yes.
Yes, as a co-host or whatever, to be able to control it. Otherwise, if you're just a participant, you can't do anything. But if you're logged in as a co-host, you can then mute and control who's on the line.
All right, well, that's something we'd have to try. We haven't done that. We typically, some meetings is very quiet, and we as a staff don't have to do a whole lot of moving, going to the front door, trying to find somebody, making a copy or whatever, right? So that's fine. We just have to work that in with us. You have your laptop. Are you able to log in?
Well, Essence is using my profile now from the host line. So I don't think so. I don't know if I can just log into the computer and then I don't know if it's going to sign me out the phone or. Have you ever had somebody do that? Like log into the computer and the phone at the same time as a host?
No, that's usually a bad idea.
I was about to say, yeah, so I don't want to try it and then it like cuts us all off. But I mean, going.
Well, let me say this: you can set up on the WebEx. You can have it where the audio comes through your telephone. So you can have the audio come through your telephone and you're on the line and can see everything, but you can't do both at the same time. So if you're talking as a co-host, you're hosting something, you can actually go in and use your telephone as the call-in because you assign that, you link it to the hosting. So you're the host, you link it'll pop up as a phone call coming in, and you can take that and link it over to your host, and that way it'll be directly tied in, so you're coming through the phone. I know technical geek stuff that only Julian understands.
You use your laptop, Essence. Is that correct?
That's through a laptop.
I called in on the phone, but I'm just logged in WebEx to look at the preferences to change. That's what I was looking at.
Okay.
I was not on the video or anything. But I tried.
And can you see the phone line?
No, I can't see. I can't see the phone line on here.
On the WebEx, you can't see the phone line?
I don't see it.
It should come up on the.
Can you put it on hold and bring your laptop? You have your laptop, right?
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Can you take it around to them, keep this line? If you're on the desktop, on the desk phone, leave that on hold, and then take your laptop, or maybe he can show us something.
Okay.
You have your laptop, right? Okay,
yeah.
Good.
It's like.
Food. I'm listening to the C. It sounds more than 20 seconds.
Well, I'm trying to find. I'm looking at it, and it's like usually when you log in, if there's video and phone, the video will come up and it'll list everybody that's calling in. On the phone too, you should have a listing.
No, I'm talking about the video feed. Dean said it was a 20-second delay. It seems longer than 20 seconds. I'm just hearing that conversation that we just had. Maybe 20 seconds is a long time.
Chart, and you can just click and link the visuals and audios together. Yeah. And you can tie those in as the host, so that when you're hosting it, you won't cut your own self off, but you can mute everybody, keep everybody going.
Turn your mic on so they can.
Oh. Okay, all right. I didn't want to make it too difficult. I was just saying that on one version of the WebEx, this is a little different version than what I use. It has usually with the visuals, it'll have the cameras, people on that log in, and then you can also have phone numbers that come in, and then you can link the phone numbers to the visuals as host or non-hosting, and then when you mute, you can mute everybody. You can mute only the people that are guests. I mean, it's a little. I know it's probably in here. Just have to kind of pull around. Not in calendar. It would be maybe in preferences or something.
Could it be because you don't have a co-host up there?
And I tried to.
Well, you're co-hosting it, right?
No, I tried to.
She's on the mine thing.
Okay, so who is one host? That's you?
That's her.
That's her.
It's
under his.
It's under your account. Okay, so we can't see usually there's a thing that shows everything going on. Mm-hmm. So you can see who's logged in and who's not. So you know who's on your call. Yeah. Otherwise, you won't know who it is.
But that's probably because she called in as a host instead of logged in as a host.
Oh, you called in as a host instead of logged in as a host.
That's what I'm wondering.
That's why.
Should I just click join meeting and see if it switches us? And it's okay, you're on the phone. Like would WebEx know you called in as a host and you logged in as a host, or would it be you got to pick one?
It probably will say pick one, but it'll. I don't
give you the option to switch or something.
Yeah, it'll probably say, do you want to switch from if you're now at your house and you want to use or a laptop and you want to do that instead.
Should I join this right? I do have it. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
now we can see.
Now we can see.
Wait. Oh. Oh, no.
So what does that say? Calling?
Yeah, so
Okay, you unmute
you
yourself.
can
There.
mute each one that you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It
you can.
doesn't have a number. It just says calling user 1, calling user 1.
But I think we can.
Should be one that has that.
Because I remember the lady told us that we could name it somehow.
Right. They should have a little.
Three dots at the top.
Yeah.
It just says move to stage. Or I double click it. She showed us before.
So probably when people call in, you decide who they are. You mute them if they're not supposed to talk. If they're going to be, if they're a participant,
Right.
then you move them to the stage and they stay live.
So let me see if I can call in and let me see if it lets you name me.
Oh, like when you first come in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that when you're in the meeting and it's you're on the meeting and somebody calls in, you want to make sure you mute them because if they're not a participant.
Can they still hear us? Are they?
Oh, I have it set up like that coming through the microphone on so they can hear us back at the wherever they are, because I don't want them just to feel like you see us moving our mouths and pointing and talking and nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, but I was wondering if when she closed out of that and went into this, that didn't cut them off.
Oh, good question. Are you still with us, everybody? Pamela and all the other people?
I'm here.
Okay, there we go.
I'm here. Were you able to switch her view so you can see it, so you can see who's on the line and stuff?
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure we didn't lose you as we were trying to claw through stuff here.
No, well, I'm fine. I'm still here waiting. I'm listening to the discussion. I think you're trying to change the view that the host or co-host sees so that you get a better, more detailed, and I don't think the view that we have gave us enough information to control the calls to put somebody on mute or so forth.
Exactly. You had to open it up through the laptop so that the laptop, if you're doing it, they were doing it through telephone call-in, and you couldn't see who was calling in. You couldn't even control it. It should have at least something like a
Right.
phone number
Can
or
you
something
see it
pop
now?
up. Well, we're
She said, can we see it?
can we see it now? I can see some things come up. I can tell some stuff, but we're still working our way through it a little bit. There's a way to do it, and we kind of
It's me, Julian.
okay. I hear Julian.
Has joined the meeting.
And I hear them telling us Julian's joined the meeting.
Did they hear that has joined the meeting?
Did you hear Julian's joined the meeting? You had to because it's coming through the system.
I did.
Okay, all right. Is there a way to name each of these callers so you know who they are?
That's what I'm trying to do. Nope.
Also, y'all saw how random that was? I just joined out of nowhere, even though it was like 2 hours into the meeting.
It said right click, but that ain't working. Click edit profile.
You think
Can you go up to edit?
Do you think we should start a
Also,
new
that's
meeting?
weird. It didn't work out. I think that we just might have to act participating privileges. Let's just chat.
Okay, so you see us at least on there, but there should be a way to be able to see who is.
My WebEx icon up there.
My WebEx. I think it's just because it's different because it's a Gov account. You see, like a
Yeah.
Gov. I think it just. I don't see nothing about my WebEx.
Can you right click on it?
Yeah, that's
Try
what I
that. You
tried.
won't right click either. Okay.
Yeah, right now it's a little different than
In this location.
I just use a regular consumer version.
Yeah, closed caption.
If you click on the actual phone picture, see the one that you right click.
And what about layout?
Where? I think that's just.
Names and videos.
It says show all names, but.
Oh, now try to click on the after you show all the names. See if you can right click the names now and it'll give you a different option.
So if somebody joins through computer, did they put their name in there automatically? Is that what they put in?
It actually put your name and your email.
Okay.
So that's why it probably popped up.
That's the call you.
So they added their own name when they call in. Okay.
Because they won't be like, let's join the meeting, you'll just see it pop up.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. They probably got to change their own name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it should at least pop up as a phone number. Well, it's just coming up as, yeah, Zoom pops up as a phone number. This is just showing me as user 1, user 2, and user 3, which is kind of weird. But I've used WebEx, regular corporate WebEx, and it wasn't doing this like this. Well, you definitely want to keep it in English.
So could it be the level of WebEx you have? Maybe that's an
Yeah,
upgrade.
that's what she said.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
Gov
it's like I
account.
think it's like an enterprise because our thing is called civilrights.webex.com. Like they gave us our own site.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
on the
thing.
side it says Gov right here.
And I put in my like government email, it would say there's no account. But when I go to civilrights.webex and I put it in, then it recognizes me. So I don't know how they did it, but yeah, that's the way. They gave us like our own thing.
That's cool. Well, we're still looking at it, trying to figure it out. We don't want to hold everybody up hostage.
I
And
think we might have to have another meeting with the WebEx.
I'm not holding up like this is the purpose of you guys coming out here today to work through this, to try whatever try. If something fails, at least we can check a box. Okay, that didn't work. What else can work? You're not holding us hostage, please.
oh, no, I understand that. It's just this might be a WebEx question, and not really.
Right. So then we can put it on the list.
Yeah, definitely.
So for me, Dean, I mean, we went through this one time. I don't know. You still have to figure out whether you're comfortable with the bandwidth and stuff. I would like to just kind of go back and then regroup and come together and talk about today's test, potentially a second test. We have to be comfortable. I don't want us, they have never done a meeting. I have done a meeting, and so I'm bringing them into this fold. Michelle has done a meeting with us. I want us comfortable, and if I have to pay for this, if it's a low day, I have no problem with that. But we need to, everybody get through the run-through with the real full setup, everything in place, and then we will bring in other staff so they can sit at the microphones and also help us with the sound. We want the staff director to come in to see the setup and work through, see if he has questions. So that's the next, I think, step. I would ask Michelle what her next step was after she look over and you guys talk about how today's live stream went. And Julian, I would like to also bring in 508, because we need to make sure that they
Julian stepped away for 1 second, but his
Okay.
other partnered half here is like got it locked under control on that one.
Esther's is taking care of the notes.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
One thing I will say, because we're hardwired into your internet, we shouldn't have any problems with the bandwidth. So far, I think the only thing, once we got really into it and working, it seemed like it was fine. So you're able to catch us on YouTube. That's the main thing.
Confirm from her, you know what I'm saying? Because she had to do something to let people know. Before we had to shut everybody out. I don't know how you kick people off so we don't lose the strength of the band. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
you normally don't lose strength if you're doing
also
direct. We're doing a direct line out. If we were doing Wi-Fi, yeah, you would definitely Wi-Fi. Everybody that has their own laptop tying in, the line would definitely drop down. But because we're going straight in, usually there's no drop off on a hard wire. So we're hardwired in.
Okay,
and we're
let me
good.
ask you another question. Because typically the room is going to have more people in it, more cell phones, and more laptops. Even with your hardwire, how could that potentially affect what you're doing and how well everything goes?
It should not affect us because as a hardwire, we have priority over everybody else. And you're not the last thing that's going to drop out is the hardwire.
In there with laptops. People sit in that meeting and watch the meeting, right?
Yeah, they're on Wi-Fi. They're on Wi-Fi. Yeah, the Wi-Fi will start dropping off and falling off way before anything happens to the hardwire.
Okay.
The only people that can affect us on the hardwire are the other hardwired people in the room. If we're like one of only 2 or 3 people, we should be fine. If you have like your computers up here with the commissioners and they're online, they'll be okay if they're hardwired in. It's the ones that are laptop.
Well, I don't want them hardwired. I think, and you have to exercise, as long as you're hardwired, and I would think because we have to do the WebEx, have to make sure that we don't lose anything. I don't know, because right now we're on Wi-Fi, I think watching it on the laptop, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would lose strength in the ability, like you say, to control the microphones or the sound if someone goes off in a script. So I don't know how we make that.
Well, the only thing I can say with the overall, we're on microphones. I mean, we're on the. I'm running the sound right now. So if there's like a real crazy person on there just going off, I can turn off the audio. I can turn the audio off to the telephones coming in or to the WebEx coming in, and then you could, I don't know, somehow go and find those people at their house and track them down.
Right, but if I can't see, you said find them at the house. But if we can't see through our WebEx setup that on line 4, that person, we need to shut them down. That's something we also have to work through, and I want us to talk to WebEx to get those questions answered before we do the next test. And I need to know that Michelle is comfortable with what we have. She wants to make sure I'm comfortable, and I want to make sure your team and my team are comfortable. So that's the sort of the regroup. So I'm not worried about being held hostage. I don't want to. I don't like that word because I think that we have to work through these things so that when we're in the room and those 20 people look at us like, okay, what are y'all doing? What's going on? You know, that's not the time then if we haven't tried. You know, they're so perfect. Things can go wrong, and I expect and accept that, and we'll have to set their expectations. Now, whether they live into it or not, that's going to be up to them. But when we say that your company is going to provide sound, and we're able to do the 508 and have the conference call via WebEx and do the live stream, but that people in the room, we can still not have Wi-Fi ability to the strength that they're expecting because of a lot of people going that, we lose the strength. Some kind of, paragraph like that to them, okay?
Understandable. Like I said, we're comfortable as long as we are hardwired, in which we are. There should be no problems. If we were not hardwired, then we would be in trouble. I'd be really worried because everybody and their brother and sister would be wandering around with a laptop and online with the computer and the phone and iPad and everything, and that would just be taking off more and more and more of our Wi-Fi. So we're good as long as we're hardwired.
Is Antonio and Michelle there near us?
Yes.
Okay, so are you comfortable with what's going on right now? I don't know what Michelle is. I need to know if she's comfortable as well, what you guys are seeing.
Well, personally, yes, I'm comfortable. As he said, as long as you hardwire in. Oh, okay. Julian muted me for a second. As long as you hardwired in.
I was like, what?
Julian had control of the chairman microphone. The chairman mic can turn off all the other mics.
Exactly.
Well, that's good to know it works.
Exactly. But yes, as long as we are in the network through the Ethernet cable, we shouldn't have no issues. Again, we're not using the Wi-Fi. They did hardwire everything in, so we shouldn't lose no type of signals because of the Wi-Fi connections.
Okay. And I don't know, Michelle, are you on the phone or are you I don't know if she's in the room? I see you guys. Well, I guess we'll have to text her to find out because she's not on the phone evidently.
The only other item we need to test is like I said, the 508 and the, what's this called? Court reporter. What kind of signal do they need?
What kind of cables? We'll probably need to know how they plug into the soundboard or the mult box.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, if they're just going to the mult box, that's no problem then. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I got two sounds on my ear at the same time. Okay, well, that's another question, like I said. So we need to just, if you guys are all good and comfortable with whatever script, I want to draft something up. We want the staff director, because we want him. Unfortunately, was able to be a part of today because we had to move it and everything. But what in the world? Okay, I got way too much sound going on in my ear. Did I lose you guys?
No, we hear you.
Okay, I'm hearing a bunch of crap in my ear. Oh, there you go. Okay, so we wanted the staff director. I know Michelle was asking. We were trying to get him in to make sure when we go through the test that other people are there. We'll bring in other staff, like we had with Prince coming in to help out. Okay, Dean.
Dean said, "Say it again." He didn't hear quite exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. So we wanted to try to have a real mock. Now that you've come on site and done your testing, we wanted to do a mock with the staff director and other staff acting like commissioners, acting like presenters, and just setting up. Because normally we have two types of events. One is a meeting, as what we did today. The second is a briefing where you have the panelist table, where we also had the timer that we did not set up today in terms of having something, and him seeing that, see if he has any questions, and accept the fact that I hear you saying that you said nothing's going to go wrong. I would say I don't expect anything to go wrong, but with technology, there's always a possibility. You don't say absolutes, please, because things do happen. If a power surge went out, we can lose anything and have to, redo something.
Right. Yeah. We try to bring backups of most things that we have here just in case. But like you said, a power surge could shut down the one wrong thing we don't need to have shut down.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you're talking in absolute, sir. So I'm trying not to, because if you say that in front of the agency head, he's already trying to be an absolute. They all know absolute. There are no guarantees.
Mm-hmm.
To the best of these are set up, you anticipate everything working well, but there, something could happen that's impacted that's outside of our control.
Right.
So when you speaking with him and he hears you, I need you not to talk in absolute. If you say, "Oh no, as long as we hotwire, nothing's going wrong," nothing means that's an absolute. If you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're right about that. It could very easily happen where the internet goes down that day, or there's a partial problem with the internet, and then it's
a brownout can shut it down long enough and come right back with the lights flicker enough. And this is what I'm trying to say to you in terms of your description. When we have the mock with him and he's there in person, I need you to be mindful of that, because he's already looking for 120%. I can't guarantee 100%. I can guarantee we can do the best that we can. We have tested it. So you already been on place where you tested the night before and the next morning, all heck just broke loose. Okay, sir?
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
Yep.
That wasn't Dean that was all confident. That was Greg, me. So I'm definitely not going to be on the call. I'll keep my mouth totally quiet.
Greg?
Yeah.
Ditto to everything I just said to you.
I totally understand. I got it. I won't do that to us. I won't do it to you, so that way we won't have anything done. So yeah, it's just like to the best of our abilities, we're doing all we can.
Okay. So we have some follow-up. USCCR has some follow-up for WebEx to find out about the proper screen viewing that we have, so we can have the right controls. We know to check the boxes, right, Evans and Julian, where we're not pinging or announcing people coming in and out of the call. That's something that we can control, and we can do the co-host. And we just have that one last question for WebEx. Am I on the same page with you all?
Yes.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
From your end, where you're looking at the video, how does the quality look there?
So I'm on my phone,
Okay.
and everything to me looks good. And it mainly sounds good as long as we're close to it, to the microphones and they're on. I don't have any problem. The delay, I have to get used to the delay, because you said 20 seconds. The 20 seconds is a lot longer, in video, in real time, as I'm watching the video.
Yeah, it's just an estimate. Sometimes it may only be 10, sometimes it might be 40. It just depends on the system and the time, and how much traffic they're getting will depend on how much your delay is. There's no way to say an exact time that'll be.
It could also be because I'm on my cell phone and how much strength or whatever I have.
Yeah, that can affect your video quality if you have weak strength on your cell phone. That's why I was wondering if somebody was looking at it on their computer. They have a bigger screen, they can see what the quality is like. It's kind of hard to tell on a cell phone because it's not taking up that much screen space.
And I thought so, because I'm in the area, and I can have, while I have strength, it may not be as fast going back and forth. I have 5G, but still, you never can tell how much data is being transmitted.
Right. Mm-hmm. Are you able to see it on your computer there? Mm-hmm. The quality looks all right. Yeah, it looks pretty crisp. Will that go full screen? How does that look?
Okay, well, I'm good if everybody else is good.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good here.
All right, then. Well, thank you all so much, and we'll be in touch. If anything comes up, some questions, you guys think about something, once we figure out this WebEx and get that out, and then we'll talk about doing this mock, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks so very
All
much.
right, thank you
Appreciate
very much,
you having us
guys.
out. Thank you.
Everybody have a good day.
You too. Happy New Year.
Same to you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for using WebEx. Visit our website at www.webex.com.